Hey, welcome. We are revisiting the Mania of WrestleMania Rewatch podcast. I'm Carlos,
And I'm Maria.
and today we are going to go a little bit off our normal route. There was a lot of things that have been happening, a lot of important things, just such as John Cena's final match and Cody Rhodes facing Drew McIntyre and actually losing in the three stages of Hell match. And more recently, what happened in the Royal Rumble. Our initial reactions, Marina's initial reactions. She actually made predictions. We posted those up
Were they
on
right? No. Were they predictions? Yes.
yeah. So if you follow us on Instagram and on Threads, those were posted on there.
And
So
if you don't follow us, make sure you do like us and drop a comment because we'd love to hear from you. All right, Mania Nation, we all have to take a deep breath because we're about to talk about something that to me feels unreal. John Cena's retirement. We had the opportunity to watch this match on December 13th, Washington, D.C. at Capital One Arena. Not us, but whoever was there
I'm watching live, watching on
live.
Saturday night's main event, which is on Peacock in the United States and on YouTube internationally.
So there were a total of 19,274 fans in attendance. A whole ton of John Cena fans because everybody there was rooting for him. Nobody was booing him, which I was really excited to see. So the tagline for that night's event was the last real champion, one last time. Carlos, we know that you're a huge John Cena fan.
The hugest.
How did you feel about watching this and seeing John Cena in his last match?
It still feels like unreal. It feels like he's gonna come back, especially how the Saudi Arabians have like a lot of money to bring back people, which is why we got the Undertaker
Mm,
coming back and Shawn Michaels coming back and Kane coming back and Triple H coming back, and
wow.
they had a very terrible match.
Oof.
And that's the last I talk about that again.
Oh.
So
So this match is pretty sturdy. It goes for 23 minutes and 45 seconds.
now, you as the casual fan here between us, do you feel like this match was too much, or was it too long, too boring?
From previous matches that I've seen before, I think the duration was just right. I was a little nervous that it would actually run short, like a 12 or 13-minute match. So this match going for a full 23 was nice, but we'll get into the tap out, heard around the
Yeah,
world
completely agree with you.
later.
Like this match needed to be huge, and John Cena is a little bit older. Gunter is not also one of those flashy type of wrestlers that does this high spot. This match was more of a work rate type of match than it was for, and the work rate was for the meaning. Like it was meant to give him a meaningful ending.
Right. This
Now,
is
whether you agree with him tapping out
mhm.
is something that I feel that it shouldn't happen, but we'll get into it a little bit more.
So for you hardcore fans like Carlos, you all know that this was the culmination of Cena's farewell tour. And like you said, we needed a really good build up, a good goodbye. And you said that Gunther is more of like a worker. We didn't see a lot of flair during this match, which is I think something that I wanted and that I missed. Because we just saw a lot of the work of wrestling, which of course very important. But we didn't get to see any of those like epic moments until that tap out at the end.
Yeah.
So there weren't like a lot of highlights for me during this match.
Yeah, I mean, we did get a lot of John Cena. He does his "You Can't See Me" and his five knuckle shuffle.
Right.
He does that a couple of times.
Did he execute it though? Or
He executes one five knuckle shuffle. He attempts to do it two more times, and it's not very successful.
so they give him Gunter. So are you a fan of him?
Gunther, I'm becoming more of a fan of him now that I'm beginning to understand what they're building him for. everyone gets mad that this was like John Cena should have been pushing talent, like younger talent, that it should have been a passing of the torch
Hmm.
type of deal. But I feel like the passing of the torch happened when he faced Cody Rhodes, and um, I guess Cody Rhodes redeemed John Cena in that match. I would have liked for the run to be scripted a little bit different.
Okay.
Like WrestleMania was in August. I think Cody Rhodes confronted John Cena like in July, a couple of weeks before SummerSlam, I
Right.
believe.
Okay.
And he told him that he wanted to see the real John Cena.
Ooh, what's that like?
And that was, the hustle, loyalty. You can't see me coming out with the highly colorful shirts and things like that.
Hmm.
Now, so I would have preferred it to have these farewell matches that he had with CM Punk, Sami Zayn, or not before. I'm talking about before. Sorry. So with CM Punk and Randy Orton, those were matches he wanted, and I felt like if they would have been able to plan the heel turn a little bit more, you could have had something along the way where this was more of a redemption. Like to me, over the past few years, John Cena hasn't won the championship title. We know why, like personally, because he's been busy. But as far as when he was a good guy,
Hmm.
face, like doing the hustle, loyalty, respect, he never won it. He never won a match to qualify. He
Right.
didn't win a Royal Rumble.
Hmm.
And now he finally won the belt using heelish tactics.
Right.
So I feel if they would have just gone more, stretched it out a little bit more, we lost The Rock, we lost, I forget what his name is, but it doesn't matter. But we lost them contributing to the story. But this could have been about wrestlers trying to redeem John Cena. So this could have been like a redemption arc, like kind of like how Star Wars, how we had Luke trying to bring his brother, his father, excuse me,
Right.
back to the light. So
So I hear you on that. And I think a lot of people, including myself, have opinions on who he could have faced off with during this last match. And I throw out a string of names and we'll go through those as Carlos was telling me this person wouldn't have fit because of this and this, and this makes sense. So they give us Gunther, the ring general. According to WWE, the most dominant wrestler in the ring of this era. The guy whose chops sound like gunshots. And we saw plenty of chops during that match, right? We also saw plenty of chops during the Rumble yesterday, which we'll get into a little bit later. So, who do you think he could have faced off with rather than a Gunter?
rather than Gunter, well, if we're following my
You're,
fantasy booking, then
yeah,
you have him face Cody Rhodes at the end. Like that would have been the ultimate redemption and the ultimate type of passing of the torch type of thing.
right,
Going this way, I see the plan that Hunter and everyone in creative, Michael Hayes and everybody that we've seen there might have been having. They use John Cena's run one to give us a moment, two to build up a little bit of stars and give people like their farewell matches
right,
with John Cena. But we got the passing the torch with Cody Rhodes. I keep mentioning that, but I'm just going like what his run initially did. We got more people voicing their opinion on getting more NXT talent up here to showcase that NXT talent. We even had the Saturday night's main event show that showcased newer talent, younger talent. And now all of that talent, well, most of that talent is we saw it at the Royal Rumble. You saw that lady wrestler, so Ruka.
yeah.
We saw Obafemi making his debut. We saw bouncy Javon Evans flipping and bouncing all over the place,
We
and
saw Mr. Iguana.
we saw Mr. Iguana. He wasn't on that Saturday night's main event, but yes, John Cena made that run gave us a lot of fans the motivation to get out there and hound her creative to get more. So we got that. We got Dominic Mysterio getting a push, even though he ended up getting injured about a couple of weeks later. But he was the last person to beat John Cena for a championship, so the rub from that doesn't go away. And we have Gunther, who ends up tapping out. John Cena, the man who says he will never quit, he actually tapped out. And I can't imagine like the heat. If you were following it on social media, Maria was very upset, and I'm like, that's what they wanted. This man was mobbed on the way to his bus. Triple H was booed when he came out for John Cena's farewell.
As they should be. This
Right.
was less disappointing than The Undertaker being defeated by Brock Lesnar and losing his, what was it, a title run?
His streak.
His streak of, what was it,
Undefeated.
17? His
He was
undefeated
21
streak.
and 0 at the time.
So it was a bummer. Seeing him tap out to Gunther, who's like, good wrestler, solid heel. And like you said, this gave us exactly what we wanted. Not what we wanted, but this gave them what they wanted, where we're like,
they needed a heel.
He's the heel for sure. When you see the crowd, everybody was silent, including myself when I watched that tap out. It was very disappointing.
Then we got the fan reactions right here from the event. We got this guy. We have this lady.
Yes.
We have this group of people right here.
Yes.
And this lady looks
the
like
guy
she's
on the left
crying.
is perfect because I'm like, what did I just watch?
And then we had
What
this
just
lady who was
happened?
tearing up.
Yeah.
So they got everything that they wanted. They got fans invested. Everyone pans this retirement match. Could it have been booked better? Like I said, I gave you my fantasy booking. You made it this far and to this into this into this video. If you like what you're hearing, give us a comment. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me,
if you think that he could have faced off with somebody else and you have opinions, add the comments because we're definitely interested. So what did we see during this match? We saw Cena hit an attitude adjustment. Gunter kicks out. We see Cena lock in his STF. Gunter crawled, reaches, survives. We see Gunter chop Cena so hard the crowd gasps. We see him encounter or counter a power bomb and a sunset flip, like it's WrestleMania 21 all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the submission quietly, and
he's smiling.
and
Apparently, I don't know how people are saying he smiled, but I'm like, I don't know if that's a smile. I think it's more like a reluctance. Like this, I gotta do this.
It was brutal to watch. It wasn't flashy. There were no theatrics, just pressure, leverage, pain. Um, it was just heartbreaking to see him go out like that. He could have gone out better.
Yeah, and we see it here.
Why am I getting emotional? Just
because even though you we've been doing this podcast for almost 3 years now. I think you've committed to some of these wrestlers, like their characters, their personalities, getting to know them better, and now you have that connection with them. So knowing that they won't be there out there to entertain you, it's like the end of an era for you.
Yeah.
So with this, uh, we get this goodbye. We had the goodbye montage. John Cena puts his shoes, his headbands, and wristbands away, and he takes a bow. He gives us a salute, and he says it was a pleasure serving us all these years.
Yeah, I mean, those are the highlights of this finale, right?
So where does this match rank from all the farewell matches you've seen? You haven't seen many. You've just probably seen like 4 of them. You've seen like Ric Flair's retirement match versus HBK.
Was it because he comes back to wrestle?
I'm just saying, but on WWE television. You saw Shawn Michaels' retirement match.
Shawn Michaels is still like the ultimate
versus The Undertaker the second time.
Yes.
You saw John Cena's retirement farewell match. And now, spoiler alert: if you are waiting for us to get to our Royal Rumble predict initial reactions, AJ Styles retirement match.
Yeah, that was okay.
So we'll get into your initial thoughts there, but just
So Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker is gonna be like one of my favorite retirement matches. Big fan of Shawn Michaels. So, that was one of my favorites. What's one of your favorite retirement
mine is
matches?
still the Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels retirement match.
The
It
I
was still like, even though he ruins it by coming back,
the wrestling.
it's just like the storytelling
And that went
and
on for
that final moment where Shawn knows that he's gonna beat him, and he's like, "I love you.
was that in
I'm
Vegas?
sorry." No, that was, I think, in
In
Texas or
Texas.
something. And he's like, "I'm sorry, I love you," and then he super kicks him.
Yes.
So
Sorry,
that
that was
I still resonates like with me as being a very good final match, even though it was not his final match.
one of the top tiers of
Yeah.
final matches, right? So like what were some of the highlights? You mentioned it. He puts his shoes.
This AA to the table, that was another fun spot there at the announcer table. But I'm sorry, you
Oh no, I was just saying like what are the highlights? Like the shoes and the match, him walking off, him the salute. We have 19,000 people in the ring that stand up and tell him, you still got it, and they're cheering, you still got it, which was great because a lot of the times we see Cena,
getting booed,
we
like
get
you
him,
can wrestle.
yes, which is nice to see his farewell like that, and I'm happy to see it. I was happy to see that he went out like that, with the fans showing how much they care about him and love him.
Okay.
They're telling him, you mattered, you still belong, you're still our hero, and I got emotional. So he doesn't cry,
But he looks like he does, especially when he's saluting and bowing.
but he's sweaty, he's bruised, he's nodding at the crowd. Um, and it hit hard. It was
Hmm.
very sentimental for me to see that.
Yeah.
So,
With that, let's try to move on to something a little bit more positive for me. And I'm not sure. I think it's positive for you too, because you told me that you were very excited to see that Cody lost here. But Cody Rhodes, QB number one, loses his Universal Championship to Drew McIntyre in a three stages from hell match. They had three matches in one night. The first one being a regular match,
right.
the second one being a Falls Count Anywhere match, and the third one being a steel cage match. So this is the first time that you were introduced to what three stages from hell. I believe this was the seventh stage from three stages from hell match. The
Yeah, because
first
I
one
kept on
being
asking him, like, it's still going. I'm
yeah,
like, oh, they're in a cage. I'm
yeah.
like, okay.
So I know it's kind of confusing, but what did you think? I know I've been very vocal on my Cody hate. I even have that Rock shirt where Cody is slapping, or The Rock is slapping Cody Rhodes from that WrestleMania 40 run. And when we were at the Royal Rumble watch party at the Hollywood Boulevard Cinema, I believe I was the only one that was vocally booing Cody Rhodes out there. So if you were there, I'm sorry, and especially if you're a Cody fan.
Why
But
are you sorry? You're gonna
I'm just saying, like, if I offended them, I'm
own how
sorry.
you feel.
Yeah. So
We had a good time during the watch party. If you haven't been part of a watch party, definitely recommend it on the big screen, just like watching a movie. And then what is it? The Hollywood,
Boulevard.
yeah, non-sponsor, just so you know. But food, drinks. They also had their bartenders set up dedicated drinks to the evening, which was really cool, fun, cute. And the drink that we drank was, what was it? The
The
gin?
Huckleberry Gin.
Yeah, the Huckleberry gin. So they were like themed for the Rumble, which was very, very fun. We also, are we going to talk about that later? You want to talk
No,
about
we'll
that?
talk about it later.
Oh,
But
okay. All
let's finish getting into this. So
right.
how did how do you feel? You tend to like be more towards the baby faces. Do you feel like Cody losing the belt in this particular fashion where Jacob Fatu interferes and costs him the belt make Cody's character stronger or makes him tougher having to go through this. And that was that was it. Like he had tied it. He loses in the steel cage match with Jacob Fatu. This, the only way he lost it is because of interference. Do you think this builds up his character? Does it cement him more as a face that maybe people feel that the John Cena SummerSlam passing the torch moment may not
I
have
think
done?
this was appropriate, right? So this is the night that Cody's kingdom falls, and people have probably been waiting for this for some time because it has to happen. You can't you can't always be on top, is what wrestling shows us, right? Much like life, you have your triumphs and then you have your falls. So I thought it was a solid match, one, but two, I think it was appropriate for him to lose. Um, we thought John Cena's match was a funeral. This was like on par with that theme. What did you think about the match?
Uh, I hate that it was done on a SmackDown because it felt like they were limited with time, and we did not get it to breathe enough. I think this match overall is like 16 or 18 minutes.
Hmm.
So like if we average that out, it's like 6 minutes per match that they had.
Right,
But the first two are kind of fast. The first one goes for like maybe 5 or 6 minutes before Drew McIntyre gives Cody Rhodes a low blow, and then he hits him with his famous Claymore kick here.
right.
And then we get a 1, 2, 3 pin and a win, and Drew McIntyre scores the first fall.
So, we know Cody as the face of the company. He's been the face of the company for some time. Merch leader, media darling, the guy who finally finished the story. And Drew McIntyre, we know that he has been wrestling for quite some time. Um,
He's
so I think
like,
it's
yeah, it
overdue.
was very very overdue. We got that little brief win where he won at WrestleMania 40 that we were there. He beat I forgot who he beat, but he won the title. And see, he's talking to CM Punk on the announcers table. CM Punk takes him down with a GTS, and Damien cashes in. Drew McIntyre beat Seth Rollins. That's who
Right.
he beat. But he has like maybe 5 minutes with that title, and then loses it.
I know for all of you that are like major Cody fans, I tell Carlos this because I've seen Cody come out so many times with his belt to his song. And I'm like, but when is he wrestling? When does he wrestle? I haven't seen him wrestle, and I haven't seen enough wrestling from Cody. And if you are like me in those thoughts, this is a match for you to watch because there's plenty of wrestling, and I was like, this is overdue. So excited to see them work through it. I
Yeah.
think he bled, Drew bled.
Hmm.
We see his crossroads, Drew kicks out, and we get a couple of really great moves during
Hmm.
this or spots
Yeah.
during this match.
We got this particular one where there's a crossroads that when they're in the Falls Count Anywhere match that Cody Rhodes does on Drew McIntyre and he pins him on top of there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good spot. And that actually gives them the pin and the win for that one. So there are like a lot of good spots here. I even though I told you it feels like a little bit rushed and I would have liked a little bit more. This was
20-minute match.
I can't this match the way it ended was pretty much perfect, I think to me, even though I feel like they could have given them more time. This was like a pay-per-view level type of match
Mm-hmm.
in a regular TV taping.
Oh,
Uh,
good
so
take.
so with this match and the way it ends, I think we're going back to Cody's chasing, but is he going to be chasing um, kind of like I mentioned with John Cena? Because Jacob Fatu comes out and we still don't know who attacked Jacob Fatu,
Right.
who took him out of commission. Well, he keeps attacking Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that trickle into the Rumble as well. So I'm thinking that it's gonna be going to Cody, so desperate to finish to get his belt back that he's gonna end up sacrificing his morals and
Mm.
finally give us that heel turn that he should have been already
This I
because
can appreciate.
this man is the American Nightmare,
Yes,
and I've never known nightmares to be good for anybody.
not a baby face. It should be heel. So we'll see if he turns. And what we see during this match is being the hero doesn't always mean that you end up with a crown. So Drew takes his title.
All right.
Yep.
Anything else you want to touch up on
Just
this?
saying, would you recommend it?
I would recommend it if you have not watched it. If you're new to wrestling, uh, you know, I see a lot of posts on some of the internet webs where they're like, internet wrestling community, where they're like, hey, I'm getting back into wrestling. What match should I watch? Well, if you haven't already, watch this match
Yeah.
because this is a fresh storyline that's starting out from here. It's
Yeah.
we're on our way to WrestleMania season, and these are one of the threads that might happen. Cody Rhodes might not get his title back, but we might get a Jacob Fatu,
This is one of
a
the
Drew
better matches I've
McIntyre.
seen in a long time.
Yeah, we might get a Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes triple threat match at WrestleMania, just so we could finally get this settled.
So you definitely would say if you haven't watched it, watch it. And if you watched it, worth a revisit.
Definitely. And drop a comment if you made it this far. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with anyone that you want to hear our takes and Maria's takes on this.
Oh, I have a question. So Drew was hot pre-pandemic era. Do you think he's regaining his place?
I don't think he ever lost his place.
You think it's been steady?
It's been steady, but it recently has come more to the forefront as a heel. That whole run that he had the pre during the pandemic era was more of a baby face.
Mm.
But ever since he started picking on CM Punk, where he was threatening his favorite bakery, Mindy's Bakery, he was making he was antagonizing CM Punk by taking his bracelet that someone made that had Larry's name and his wife AJ Lee's name.
Ooh.
So they gave us some real good matches. Drew McIntyre is a very, very excellent heel, and I enjoyed his work not only in the ring, but on social media because he keeps the kayfabe going there and keeps the pressure. And it's like cutting promos, but without having to actually be on TV. You know, some of them he does just by texting, like regular tweets and things like that. But
Right.
sometimes he does the videos and things like that. So those are awesome.
I'm tuned in. Can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah. And with that, we get to our last portion of this match, our initial Royal Rumble reactions.
Oh, I can't wait.
So we got to see the Royal Rumble yesterday. Like we mentioned at the watch party that they had at Hollywood Boulevard, they had a meet and greet where you got to meet Miss Jackie.
Right.
We got to meet the Godfather, and eventually Rikishi did make it out there after having some flight issues.
What is that promotion? Is it Gimmick Promotions that set this up?
Yes.
So shout out to them. This is the first time that we've participated in a watch party like this. Again, not sponsored, but just I like the community that they're building. So they had merch that was available for purchase. They had vendors there. I think they were sponsored by
Great American Beer was there. They were doing Royal Rumble entry lines for you to win some money.
And then they also had entertainment where you can get signatures and photos. And that was also like a great opportunity. So we got to see and meet Rikishi, the Godfather. Also, we're able to talk with him and get to see a few different interactions with fans and the Godfather, which was pretty awesome. He's a good time, fun, very nice.
Definitely. The Godfather was the highlight. And I'm sure Rikishi would have been probably better in spirits if he managed to make his flight in time and not have to come to a very chilly Chicago weather.
And then you also got a chance to meet
Miss Jackie
Miss Jackie,
from who the Attitude Era, who was the women's champion at one time,
which is one of
and
our
she's a
favorite eras.
2016 WWE Hall of Famer. So with that, we'll get to our initial reactions and how Maria feels about, and I feel
The
of
Women's
where
Rumble,
about the Women's Rumble. The Women's Rumble once again kicks off the Royal Rumble pay-per-view card.
right?
We had Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss starting off the match.
Yeah.
They gave us lots of good teases of them betraying each other, and eventually they just laughed it off and became besties once again during the match. But we do get an accidental elimination, or was it accidental?
Was it
What do
accidental?
you think?
Um, I don't think it was accidental. I think it was planned. And Flair stood in the Rumble for quite some time, which was actually a surprise that she wasn't eliminated before. The only person that I missed during this Rumble, but I think she's still out, is
Your was your Royal Rumble pick. You had wanted Bianca Belair to come out and win it, and we still don't have an update on Bianca Belair.
yeah. So hope all is well with you, of course, or that you're taking time off as needed. But I was hoping to see her in the ring and for her to win the Rumble because she is one of my favorite wrestlers and she's excellent at all things character, entertainment, and of course the wrestling.
Hmm.
So
So with that, this is one string that we get. We might get the breakup of the best friends, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Another interesting storyline that came out of this Women's Royal Rumble is another accidental elimination, which happened when Kairi Sane eliminated Asuka as Asuka was clinging to life,
that was great.
and she was fighting off Bailey to help Asuka. She eventually accidentally elbows her away from the apron, and Asuka is eliminated, and then Bailey eventually eliminates Kairi Sane. So we're gonna get an interesting thing when those two come back to Monday Night Raw.
So outside of that, I mean, there was a lot of controversy around the stadium that I wasn't aware of and
Mhm.
just started hearing during and after the Royal Rumble. So just
Mhm.
we are aware of what's going on there. And were you surprised at the winner of the Women's Rumble? Because I know I was. I was shocked.
I did not expect to get the winner of the Royal Rumble to be one Liv Morgan, but she did it. I thought for sure they were gonna go a different route. I thought whoever won this Rumble was gonna face the SmackDown champion. So it looks like we're gonna get a Liv and Stephanie Marquez WrestleMania championship, which makes sense because that's the belt she lost. So uh, now it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna get another SmackDown uh, women's version in hell in the Elimination Chamber that's taking place at the United Center that we will be attending in person. So that's gonna be fun for us, and
Yeah, if
we'll
you haven't watched Royal Rumble yet, from start to finish, I think it was pretty solid. So I definitely recommend that you do watch it.
yeah. One of the highlights I feel was Lash Legend
Yes,
and Sol Ruka
yes.
was also. And I don't know how, but everybody in Saudi Arabia was happy to see Bree Mode make she received a bigger pop.
She did. Everybody was so excited. I was also excited to see the twins back in action. So that was a big surprise for me. Were you surprised to see them both out there?
No, it was already like one of those rumors that
You
she
know
was
it was
gonna come back.
cooking?
Yeah,
Okay.
But you just like a rumor, you can't believe just like they say you can't believe all rumors,
Yeah.
because we ended up seeing the men's, and Jericho was still missing, and everyone thought that Chris Jericho would come back and make his WrestleMania debut at the men's Royal Rumble this year.
Oh, were you on board for Tippy time? Did you think Tippy was gonna win or no?
No, no, I'm still past that. Like Tiffany Stratton's SmackDown Women's Championship run was not very entertaining for me. So, which is sad because she's a very good heel, but they kept trying to pass her off as a face,
So,
and she doesn't. I don't think she has that face run in her.
ooh. So the Royal Rumble for the women's, how long did it go? Was it close to an hour?
Yeah, these rumbles are already on pace for an hour, but
Ooh.
I think this one was shorter than it because I think last year Roxanne Perez had a run like she was in there for over an hour and 6 minutes.
If it was like that length duration for an hour, the pace was good. Like it
Yeah,
just
it
kept
didn't
on
seem like an
going,
hour.
going, going. So, it was quick pace. The wrestling was good and it was very entertaining. So that hour went by very quickly.
Yeah, was there anyone else that stuck out to you, or that you do you want to talk about what the Liv Morgan win means for you?
I think you mentioned a couple of highlights. I'm looking forward to watching Liv at WrestleMania. Was she my all-time pick? No. Also surprised to see a couple of ladies out. We see Becky Lynch, the man. She was kind of tossed out there. I was kind of surprised. Who else was I surprised at eliminations? Again, surprised to see, Flair in there for so long. Um, ah, so we'll see what this looks like at WrestleMania.
All right.
Yep.
And then the next match we had was the retirement match. AJ Styles versus Gunther. If AJ Styles loses, he would have to retire. And what did you think?
Well, was I surprised that he was retired during this Royal Rumble? Yes, I was surprised. I was surprised that he was retired at this Royal Rumble. Sorry. Were you surprised?
Like story wise, it makes sense. He debuted at a Royal Rumble, but I didn't think he was gonna end his career in a Royal Rumble. I thought maybe everyone was saying that it should be at a WrestleMania.
So you said he started and he ended, and I agree with you because I also feel like his end of career should have been at a WrestleMania as well.
And we might still get it because he didn't take off his gloves, he
No.
didn't leave his boots, which is tradition. And I'm sure AJ would have been following tradition just like John Cena would have. So does AJ Styles do what they call a dusty finish, where he says he's retiring but he refuses to retire?
Yeah, dusty finish.
Or does he actually retire and travel the world? Does he go back to New Japan Wrestling? Does he go back to TNA where he has the longest stretch of his career? Does he go to the Ring of Honor / AEW brand and have more matches there before he calls it quits for his entire career?
Right.
So the world is his oyster. Where does it go? But he, unlike he, AJ Styles, actually has lots of. This match was once again, it's not meant to be flashy because Gunter is not too flashy. It was one of those things where I guess they're committing for Gunter to have that sleeper as his his finisher.
Right.
He just cinches it on and cinches it on, and you just either give up or you pass out like AJ Styles did, in which I feel John Cena should have just passed out. And but I forgot to mention that when we were talking about that earlier. But
so okay. So the match itself, the wrestling was pretty solid. It was good from either Gunter or the Phenomenal One, with his phenomenal hair. Mm-hmm. And I like that he's interested in retiring on his own terms. I thought it was a pretty good match. Like the gear. And Gunther winning, I think, solidifies his heel.
Gives him more heel heat if they commit to AJ Styles
more retirement. Upset because now people are like, not only did you retire Cena, you're also retiring AJ Styles, which are both fan favorites. Mm-hmm. Could it get any worse? Who's next?
Yeah, who is next indeed?
And then we see him participating in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, he came in at number 30, and I was like, wow, wouldn't it have been awesome if he would have won the Rumble at the same time that he just finished retiring AJ Styles.
Yes, like as a fan, you don't want him to win the Rumble, but as a
A booker,
crazy like, what would you love? You'd love to see that. You wouldn't love to see it, but if you did, you'd be like, oh, we can't stand Gunter even more. What's next for him as that heel? So,
yeah. With that, like,
but he doesn't win the Royal Rumble. Just a
spoiler
spoiler.
alert, yeah. With this, would you recommend anyone go back and rewatch this particular match?
I definitely would. Like you said, is it a dusty? Did you call it a dusty finish?
I mean, like Dusty Finish, like more like it's not meant to make you cry. Dusty Finish is more like Dusty had a match where he's gonna retire, and then they ended up pulling back on it after he
I
loses.
like that you're telling me this because I have never heard of that. The only Dusty I know is Dusty Rhodes. So,
No, that is where it comes
oh,
from.
that's where it comes from. Okay. So, like, the match was great. I thought it was really good. We talk about Gunther wrestling. Of course, he's a strong wrestler, strong guy, very tall. Also, we see AJ wrestling with him and having a tough time pulling some of these moves because Gunter's all legs, all arms, long torso. So that was pretty interesting to watch. Because they're not like that same height. Usually you have like somebody tall, somebody small. But yeah, so we saw him pull a couple of moves that were a little rough. So what was your take about this match?
I thought it was good. um, it's not like I said, it's not up there with one of the retirement matches that, but it was a good one for AJ Styles, and more it benefits more Gunter more than it does AJ Styles, and that's pretty much what you're supposed to do when you're coming out of the business
Yeah,
is
I think that's
help
more
put the
appropriate, more aligned to see Gunther face off with an AJ.
yeah. But with that, we move on to the next match, which was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn.
So you're a big fan of Sami
I
Zayn.
am a big fan of Sami Zayn. In him, I lean more towards him than Kevin Owens, but I am a fan of both of those.
Kale.
Yep. And I feel like they dropped the ball one. I feel like even though people may have not liked it at the time, the window of opportunity for Sami Zayn to hold the world title probably would have been when he was going up against Roman Reigns.
Mm.
But Sami Zayn once again falls short. They give us a good match here.
So I mean, this is a big year for him, right? So he's part of the bloodline
He was part. There's not really much of a bloodline, but yeah,
anymore.
yeah, it's not much of a stable. It's there, but they just don't refer to it as much as they used to.
Oh.
And then Sammy's just on his own. The brothers are back together,
Mm.
but yeah, it's there, but it's not there.
Oh. So, as far as wrestling is concerned, these two guys are pretty solid wrestlers in my book. Can I say they're some of my favorite wrestlers? They're cool. I appreciate the aesthetic, the characters, and the wrestling from both of these gentlemen.
Yeah, I'm sure you enjoy the aesthetic of Drew McIntyre very much as Drew McIntyre retains and beats Sami Zayn here. It's pretty much it was something that I didn't think Sammy was actually gonna win, but if he had actually pulled off the win, I wouldn't been disappointed. But to have, like we mentioned earlier when we had the three stages of hell review about a little bit ago, we had this big build up. Drew McIntyre finally wins the belt, and to have him turn around and lose it to Sami Zayn 3 months later would have been, I think, a waste of that particular match and the story that they built up on it. So I think if we get anything with a Sami Zayn win, everyone's saying that it's probably going to happen in Saudi Arabia next year.
I think it's
So
appropriate that Drew won during this match.
yeah, so I don't think there's anything else that we can go into this uh, that we can break it down. Am I disappointed in a Sami Zayn losing? Yes, but am I like, oh my god, I'm gonna burn it down? No, like this Drew McIntyre is hot. He's a hot heel. He's getting the heat, and everyone still loves him like he's a babyface. So let's keep the belt on him and let's keep rolling. Anything else you want to add to this match?
Same sentiments. With that, let's get on to
No,
the.
before, do
Oh,
you
sure.
recommend that people watch this match?
Yeah, I
Like
do.
revisit
Yeah,
if they haven't?
revisit this match. It was a solid match. Along, like I said before, with this Rumble, it was pretty tight.
Okay.
You know,
And
no
with
lulls.
and with this, we move on to the men's Royal Rumble. This match was started off with Ova Femi and Braun Breaker, but Braun Breaker gets attacked by a mysterious hooded figure.
I can't wait to see
Who the figure
what.
was?
No, but I
Oh.
can't wait to see. I'm not curious about that. I don't know why. Um,
But go ahead.
I was gonna say I can't wait to see the trajectory of Oba Femi.
Oh yeah, Obafemi got a very big push. Ever since he faced off with Cody Rhodes at the Saturday Night's main event, that finished with a disqualification. But
305 pounds, 310. How
that
tall
guy
is
is
he?
6'6", I think. Is
6'6".
Yeah,
Beast.
yeah,
Like
and
he's
he doesn't move like all the other guys. Like you have Omos. Remember, you've seen him, the
yes,
7 foot tall man,
yeah.
and he's also from the continent of
He's
Africa. I
quick.
don't
He's
remember.
strong. It's
Yeah,
like
he does everything that Vince would have loved. If Vince would have this guy,
I don't
Vince would
know.
be pushing this guy to the moon.
Sorry, there's a joke in there somewhere. Oh
Oh my
no.
God. So, what were the highlights for you besides Ova Femi? We had Rey Mysterio making Ova Femi eliminated like the first 6 people that went in there.
That
He
was great. I don't know if it was due to time or whatever, but yes, like eliminate, eliminate, eliminate. You want to go through them or
I mean, he eliminated Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker was pretty much incapacitated after being attacked by a hooded
that
figure.
was good. In and out by
Yes,
Braun.
him and Solo Sikoa go at it for a bit before Obafemi wins that matchup. Rey Mysterio tries to upset.
Sorry, Ray, you were gone and
He
out
was
of there
gone.
too.
Rusev finally comes back
Rusev
after
for
an
his short appearance.
extended absence.
Where was he?
He was written off on TV just so you can get a brand refresh, is what Hunter said.
Oh.
And I guess the brand refresh was for him to lose at WrestleMania expediently. Matt Cardona comes back. Woo woo woo.
Woo woo woo. Everybody
And
was excited to see Matt Cardona. So there were like lots of woos in the
and
audience.
he also gets eliminated by Obafemi.
That was quick.
It's not until Damian Priest arrives at number 7 where
Yeah.
we finally get the ring filling back in here. So after that, Mr. Iguana makes that your new favorite wrestler, Mr.
Is he
Iguana.
my new favorite? He's kind of quirky, and I'm here for the quirky, like Mr. What Sacco, or
It's La Yesca.
So just I like some of the quirks that we see. Also, he reminded me of
Dust,
Gold Dust. There we
but a
go.
green version.
We
Yes.
don't get a lot of costumes and stuff like that,
Mhm.
so it's good to see it.
We also in number 10 we got the
More
introduction
props.
to you. I think you haven't seen him enough, but to Trick Williams and everybody chanting "Whoop that trick" in the theater as he's walking down
Love
with
that trick.
his white fur coat on.
Great wrestler. Yeah.
So anyone else stand out for you?
There was another gentleman that was in there for a while, and I can't think of his name, but like the athleticism, he was jumping up
Oh,
and
you're talking
over.
about Javon Evans.
Yeah, I was pleased.
The
to see him.
OG, the young OG who does this reverse he tries to attempt an OG cutter on Randy Orton, and when Randy Orton finally gets in the ring, he reverses it
Yeah.
and gets him into
That was
his
fun.
original cutter.
So it was a good time seeing him wrestle.
Yeah. There were some good stories we're gonna get coming out of here.
I
We
think
got
so.
the re-debut of the original El Americano, and they give us the Spider-Man meme moment where they're pointing at each other. You.
That was fun.
So we got that. So we're gonna get that. I feel like that's gonna be a mask versus mask match probably at WrestleMania because they're luchadores. So
That I can't wait to see. And he tried to pull off.
they both try to pull each other's
their
masks
masks
off.
off.
So that's gonna be interesting.
We get to see a Penta too, right?
We got to see Penta.
He was in and out pretty quickly.
His brother Ray Phoenix.
Yeah.
We got that moment of Brock Lesnar facing off with Oba Femi, and they looked at each other, but they didn't give us that that moment. Like they didn't start facing off of each other right away.
I
Everyone
think I'm
started
gonna.
attacking them.
I think I'm gonna have to rewatch it because the theater started getting like hot and warm, and I fell asleep.
Oh no. I guess you will have to rewatch it. But I thought that was a pretty good moment. I did not notice that you were
It
sleeping.
was
So,
really, it got really warm in there, and then we had a couple beers. So
so we'll definitely rewatch this Men's Royal Rumble. But knowing that, like, I think you probably would have been a fan of that. Anything else stick out to you, storyline wise? I think the only thing that we're gonna get coming out of here, besides eventually an Oba versus Brock Lesnar, we might get and those
I think that's
two.
Paul Logan, is it?
Yeah,
Logan
Logan Paul.
Paul.
We might figure out if someone might have orchestrated this. Might be the breakup of the Vision of
Oof.
Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Like we
Mm.
might have to see them fracture of whoever set it up. I think it was Adam Pierce, but it could like eventually finding a way to fight back. But someone's in the internet community has been speculating that it might have been that Austin Theory is a double agent for Seth Rollins. So
Oh,
I'm not gonna go into that one, but how do you feel with the win going to one returning OTC Roman Reigns
the
of the
one.
Bloodline? Yep.
I think everybody was excited to see him win. If he
Everybody
didn't,
was excited to see
we would have a
our tribal
problem.
chief back. And I think this was pretty much foreshadowed. When Roman Reigns had a recent interview excerpt come out where he told everybody, "I gave you guys 2 years to step up and take over."
And who did? Who stepped up? Not
Nobody.
one of you. Not
Uh,
one person.
yeah.
Not
So
one wrestler. And he's back.
he's back, and who's he gonna face? I think he's gonna. People have been speculating that he's gonna go after the CM Punk belt, the World Heavyweight Championship. Which, if we're continuing the storyline from last year,
Love to see it.
we would love to see it.
Sorry,
Uh,
Punk. I might love to see you lose. Oh my
uh,
God.
but
Whoops.
if he's, but it would also make sense for him to go after the SmackDown Undisputed Championship belt because that is the belt that he's had and the belt that he lost to Cody Rhodes. So it'll be interesting because it can go either way, booking wise.
Good calls.
Yeah. So with this, how did you feel with this Royal Rumble?
Definitely worth the watch and a revisit.
All right. So if there's anything else you want to go over,
No, I think we've have the opportunity to see some pretty decent wrestling. So it was a good Royal Rumble. We rumbled well. Also, just to note, because you said you were talking about the tribal chief, we got to meet the tribal chiefs
Rikishi, yes,
yesterday. So the OG, one of the OGs, it was an honor to meet him. So that was pretty cool.
yeah,
Knock that off the bucket list.
definitely. Thank you very much for joining us. And if
Thank
you made
you.
it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on any social media. We're at Revisiting Mania on everything social media. If you want to shoot us an email, revisitingmania@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And thank you. Have a nice night.
Have a nice life.